Hey YouTube, today we are going to be talking about real estate in Japan and getting an apartment as a foreigner, because I'm tired of the narrative that the only thing foreigners are allowed to live in is a sad Leo Palace box with paper thin walls and office lighting. That is not true. Now, Japan and a lot of Japan-focused content want foreigners to believe that we're lucky enough just to be housed here. That if we want anything decent, we have to pay insane move-in fees, multiple months of rent up front, or settle for the bare minimum. I'm here to tell you that you can get a nice modern apartment in Japan as a foreigner if you know how the system actually works and who and what to avoid. So let's start with the elephant in the room, Leo Palace. Every foreigner knows Leo Palace. It's easy, you can automatically get approved, no questions, no friction, no drama, and that's exactly why so many people end up there. But let's be honest, most Leo Palace apartments are not it. If you know, you know. They look and feel like dorm rooms from 1999. The walls are thin as hell, and the layouts are like so awkward, like narrow, L-shaped. I don't know. It's just like you can't really move. And the interiors are so dated even when they try to look modern. And somehow you're still paying decent money for a place that feels temporary and flimsy. If you absolutely need somewhere fast to get your foot in the door, all right, fine. Leo Palace can be a good short-term solution. But if you can afford not to live there, don't let anyone convince you that's your only option. Now let's talk about the big lie that foreigners are told. You're a foreigner, so you have to pay more. You're a foreigner, so you need several months of rent up front. You're a foreigner, so this old rundown apartment is the best you can do. Nope, not a rule. That's sales pressure. What actually matters is your income, your guarantor or guarantee company, which most apartments have, and your real estate agent. And if you have a job, a valid visa, and you're using a standard Japanese guarantee company, you do not automatically owe extra rent just for existing as a foreigner. That's what the guarantee company is there for. Now let's talk numbers, because this is where people get scared unnecessarily. For a normal apartment in Tokyo, rent from about 70,000 yen to 100,000 yen is very realistic for a 1K or 1 LDK outside the city center. Now the deposit, often 1 month, sometimes zero. Key money, increasingly zero, especially newer buildings. Guarantee company, usually 30 to 50% of 1 month's rent. Agency fee, usually 1 month's rent, or sometimes negotiable. You don't need to be paying 400,000 to 600,000 upfront fees unless you are choosing a place that is big, like a 2 LDK for 2 people, or it's just like this grand luxury place, or a place that specifically requires it, and you can see the reasons why. Newer apartments, especially those built after 2020, often have no key money, lower deposits, better soundproofing, modern layout, and cleaner management. And this is something important that I also want you to know. If you have an apartment that is like brand new, I'm talking newly built, like 2024, 2025, 2026, you should not be paying key money, okay? Key money is literally like a key exchange fee. If it's a new apartment, like a brand spanking new apartment, newly built, you should not be paying key money. Know that. Now, I currently live in a building that was built in 2023. New, clean, modern, and it's not even some luxury high-rise reserved for Japanese citizens only. Which brings me to real estate agents. Now here's the truth. Agencies that loudly market themselves as foreigner-friendly are the ones that you gotta be careful, because they are often the ones that overcharge you, and the ones that tell you you have to pay this amount. They assume that you don't know the system. They assume that you won't question fees, and they assume that you'll accept anything. Instead, I recommend regular Japanese real estate agencies. Some do offer English, or foreign-owned agencies run by people who actually understand the market, like there's a lot of Chinese-owned companies. And those agencies are often more flexible, more straightforward, and way less interested in squeezing you just because you're not Japanese. They actually want to work with you again if you need an apartment in the next 2 years or the future. And sometimes you don't even need an agent at all. Some listings are directly managed, especially in newer buildings. And the key is this: don't let anyone rush you. If an agent says this is the only option for foreigners, that's your cue to stand up, thank them, and walk out. Japan has no shortage of apartments. What it does have is a shortage of people willing to challenge the narrative. Foreigners are not limited to Leo Palace. Foreigners are not required to live in old, broken down buildings, and foreigners do not automatically owe extra money. You just need the right information and the right people to work with. Now, I'll be linking some resources in the description for those of you planning to move here or move apartments soon. And if you're already in Japan and stuck somewhere you hate, let this be your sign that you actually have options. Now, that's it for this video. I hope this helped you. Let me know in the comments. All right, that's it for today, YouTube. Peace out. Bye.